Knowing how to read and being able to do math are essential. A lot of us learn those skills in elementary school classrooms and build our knowledge throughout our lives. But some students fall behind and their struggles can snowball. Tonight, Caroline Dade is digging deeper into the unequal education some students in Madison are receiving.
Just hold your literacy books and your number card.
All of us have a responsibility to make sure that the next generation of young people are prepared to go out there and become great citizens in Madison and beyond.
Education. Dr. Ruben Anthony calls it the great liberator and says it should be Dane County's top priority.
Make the investment in our children. Make an investment in them, and let's help them overcome the barriers that stop them from achieving. Let's help them overcome the barriers that stop them from having big dreams.
But he says right now, that's not happening at every desk in every Madison classroom.
The most recent state data shows almost 41% of students in Madison schools have below basic performance in math. 34% are below basic in English language arts. While the problem isn't new, the pandemic made it worse.
Challenges that kids face have gotten wider and deeper, wider to the extent that those kids that were on the borderline before are now failing, many of them. Deeper in the sense that many of the kids that were failing are failing worse.
And education advocates say a lot of kids are still trying to climb out of that hole.
Kids, especially kids from economically disadvantaged families, are struggling to make up that for lost time.
But there are programs working to help. Schools of Hope is a literacy tutoring project from AmeriCorps that's run through the United Way of Dane County.
You know, there's a point in time when you learn how to read, and then after that, you really need to be able to read in order to learn. And so the goal of Schools of Hope is to get those schools that are high need schools some extra support.
Green is the project's director. She says at full strength, Schools of Hope serves kindergarten through 5th grade students in 14 Madison schools and 2 Sun Prairie schools, focusing on schools where more than half of students qualify for free or reduced lunch. Because Monty says a lot of educational struggles come back to economic disadvantages.
If you've got parents that are working multiple jobs, they're not able to spend the time with their kids that's needed to kind of help them continue that education outside of the classroom. If kids are hungry, they're not able to focus on what they need to be focusing on during the school day.
The Urban League of Greater Madison runs similar tutoring programs for middle and high school students, again focusing on Madison and Sun Prairie schools.
Some of our poorest kids are in those school districts, and so we need to do special things.
And Anthony says we can't afford to not try everything possible to help.
We can't just depend on the school district. We can't just depend on the families. It takes us all to come together and to try to help, these young people move forward and advance and be ready, to be productive citizens in society.
In Madison, Caroline Dade, 27 News.
Education advocates say the work to fix education inequities is complex, and it's getting harder as schools grapple with teacher shortages and experienced educators leaving the classroom. National data shows schools with higher minority enrollment and more economically disadvantaged students are having a harder time finding teachers. A 27 News analysis shows that's happening in Dane County, too. This December, the Madison Metropolitan School District had 63 open teaching positions for this school year. That's just under 2.5 openings for every 1,000 students. In Sun Prairie, there were 10 jobs posted, more than 1 opening for every 1,000 kids. On the flip side, the Monona Grove School District had 3 teacher openings, less than 1 for every 1,000 students. The Middleton Cross Plains Area School District also had 3 openings, but with more students, that works out to less than half an opening for every 1,000 students. Monty says a higher number of teacher openings in a district can lead to bigger class sizes and less one-on-one instruction, and that can widen the gap even further between kids who are learning and understanding a concept and those who aren't.